just welcoming you guys. Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name's Christine Bibick, and I'm the Program Manager for First LEGO League Explore here in Ontario. So I wanted to go over with you just some of the highlights of the program and give you an introduction. So let's get started. So to start off with, I wanted to talk about what is FIRST. So FIRST is an international program for students ages pre-K all the way through to the end of high school. And it involves three main programs: First LEGO League, First Tech Challenge, and First Robotics Competition. And FIRST itself was started by Dean Kamen and Woody Flowers. And for those of you that aren't familiar with those two gentlemen, quick Google will give you lots of information on them. They're really inspiring. And these three programs are designed really to meet the needs of FIRST, and FIRST is an acronym for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. And I think they really do just that. So First LEGO League itself is divided into three different divisions. These used to be separate programs at one time, but now we're calling them divisions. So there are three different age groups. So there's pre-K to grade 1, which is First LEGO League Discover. First LEGO League Explore is for ages or for grades 2 to 4, and First LEGO League Challenge is for grades 4 to 8. Today we're going to be focusing on First LEGO League Explore, just to learn a little bit more about this program in detail. All of the programs have one big important thing in common, and that's the FIRST core values, and you can see them listed here. They're, to me, what really sets this program apart from other robotics programs out there and what makes it really special. So what is First LEGO League Explore? Well, there's a little video here, and we won't take time to watch that now, but I will make sure that that link is available for everybody in the slide deck so they can watch it on their own afterwards. And it gives you a lovely overview of the program, and you get to meet some of the neat kids that are involved in it. And who's the program for? So First LEGO League Explore, like I said, is for ages 6 to 10. So that's grades 2 to 4. And it's really for anybody. You can see a list here of all kinds of different groups that are involved in the program. We have libraries in Ontario. We have hospitals even that are involved with it. Summer camps, daycares, after school programs, homeschooling groups, and of course, classrooms. So really there's something for everybody. And what I love about the program is it's so flexible. You can really tailor it to meet the unique needs of your situation. Yeah, so once again, it's for students with all abilities and experience levels, because that's very adaptable. The materials are printed in English, but are also available in French and other languages. So if you're in a French immersion school, you can take advantage of that. And it's really a wonderful thing for just about everybody. The estimated total costs, now these are based on this year's costs for 2021, and you can see them there. So there's two options for purchasing this program offering. It's available as a single team, and it's also available as a class pack. And I'll just go over what's involved in each of those. So single teams are for 2 to 6 students versus a class pack, which is designed more for a class pack, classroom type setting. So you'll have up to 24 students. Now keep in mind, this can be divided out. It could be, very small groups of 6 students each, and it could be multiples of those or what have you. So there's lots of ways you can divide out that class pack. And students in a class pack situation would work in essentially teams as well, so groups of 2 to 6. Included in registration is a team meeting guide, engineering notebooks for each student. So you'll see here 6 for a team or 24 for a class pack, as well as the appropriate number of Explore sets. So I'll go into details in a moment about what those Explore sets are. And in addition here, the main difference between the two, other than the quantity, is the fact that class packs also have access to the team meeting guide, which is found on the dashboard, and I'll explain that down the road a little bit too. But the dashboard is a great place for other resources as well, just as a side note. And the festival guide is also available primarily just to the class pack groups because those groups are going to be hosting their own what we call festival. For teams, there are a number of festivals across the province that you'll be invited to take part in. Some are virtual and some are in person, hopefully, but there are other options for those teams. First Canada and some of our volunteers work really hard to make those available to us. But if you're doing a class pack, you're expected to host your own. So here are the materials that are included with registration. So you'll see here, this is basically on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see what we call our Explore set. We used to call those Inspire sets, and it's still a very appropriate name because that comes with all the Lego you need to build what we call an Inspire set. And it's got some really neat pieces in it. You can see there's a little truck there in this particular season's offerings. And so the instructions in the Lego to build these components are what you'll get each year in that box that's mailed to you. There's also team meeting guides and engineering notebooks and a team a mat, this cardboard piece right in the bottom in the middle here, that's sort of forms the base for your Lego display and all of the different components that the students will be building. So hopefully I've explained that okay so far, and I'll go on to show you a little bit more in detail. So here's a sample lesson. This is from a couple of years back, but it gives you an idea of what the engineering notebooks and the team meeting guides look like. Things are really simply laid out. For this particular program, there are a number of, there's 12 actually 1-hour lessons that are laid out in the team meeting guide. So that's sort of the framework that you can use, or you can do your own thing totally, but they're really nicely laid out lessons with estimated times, lists of materials you need, and just sort of step-by-step instructions on how to go through the particular season's lessons should you decide to use this resource. And it corresponds lovely with the engineering notebook, which each student will have a copy of. And in the engineering notebook, there are lots of spaces for the students to sort of work out their creative process, their design process, and take notes and you know, capture their learning. So the big investment piece that's done in the first year is this particular set, which is called a Lego Spike Essential Set. And it contains a number of components that are reusable year after year. This is new this year for this particular year, but it's really exciting to see. It comes with some motors, some sensors, and it really gives sort of a nice jumping off spot. And there are materials online too, in addition, that support this particular kit of parts that you can utilize for extra resources. Each year there's a different challenge. This year's challenge happens to be Cargo Connect, but it changes from year to year. So this year students are learning about moving materials from one spot to another, moving cargo from one area to another, whether through different modes of transportation. And there's really lots of different avenues that students can explore when going through this topic, and they're guided through that through those 12 lessons. So they're really well laid out, lots of fun, and really interesting. And next year it will be a whole new topic with lots of interesting things to explore there. And once a team gets started, this is pretty much the journey that they take. So they're going to be exploring the challenge. They're going to be learning about those core values that I mentioned earlier. They're going to be doing the engineering process, which is exploring, creating, testing, sharing, and going through that over and over and over again, sort of coming around to their final product, which is their team model. And then they're going to be designing a poster that's going to explain their journey of learning with them and give them a chance to tell about themselves and what they studied and what they learned and all kinds of interesting things. And then things will end off with a celebration event, which we call a festival. Here's some great resources for mentors, and this will be available in the slide deck, but I'll just go over them quickly. So first of all, we have the FIRST Robotics Canada website. That's where you're going to find all the resources that I've sort of curated and put together, and with the help of other coaches and mentors. And those are in the resource section of our website. And this is also where you'll find links to the curriculum alignment for Ontario. So that's very helpful to a lot of teachers who are interested in that, because the team meeting guide covers these areas and aligns really beautifully with that curriculum. So we want to make sure that you have access to that. There's also a link here to the FIRST HQ website, which contains the dashboard in the upper right-hand corner where you'll click in order to register a team or a class pack. There's also generally on Fridays, not every Friday, but Fridays as needed, I send out an update, a program update to all the teams in Ontario. So you can sign up for those updates here with this link. And once a month, we have a mentor Zoom call. So that's another great resource where you can network, talk to other coaches, and share best practices, ask questions, solicit, sort of some feedback, and get some different points of view from different things. So it's a great opportunity to meet and talk to others. Also in the same vein, we have a Slack workspace, which is an online platform where you can sort of message one another and support one another that way. Well, there's also Pinterest boards that have a lot of great resources on them. And in addition to that, we have FIRST Robotics Canada's YouTube channel and headquarters YouTube channel. And then these last three are a few resources that I just threw in to sort of give you sort of a deeper dive. These would be resources that you'll find in the resource section of our website, but they're things that I wanted to highlight because I thought they might be useful. So the first one is a clip of a festival video. So it's just sort of a summary of what you might see at a festival to give an idea or a taste of what's involved with that. And also there's a team interview there that's kind of interesting and cute. You get to see what a particular team learned in their season and some of the accomplishments that they achieved. And then the last and final one is what I call our program summary sheets, which is sort of, I call them my cheat sheets too. And it's sort of a summary of all the nuts and bolts, the numbers and links for the main things that you'll need for the season. So it's a real go-to resource as well. And that's it for my presentation, but do you have any questions? Because I'd be happy to answer them at this time. Is there anything I didn't cover that you're interested in knowing more about? I sort of flew through it all, but hopefully that will give you some ideas.
I don't have questions, but you're awesome.
Well, thank you, Caitlin.
You're
I feel like I paid you to do that. No,
it's recorded. It's a free compliment.
There you go. But that's sort of it in a nutshell. The only thing I haven't dived deep into here are the programming resources, and that's because they're changing this year with the Spike Essential, and they're not, I gotta say, like, I am not as familiar with the Spike Essential programming techniques yet as I am with the We2, but it's a drop and drag sort of situation. It's with icons, so it's very simple and easy. It's not intimidating at all, even for a beginner programmer like myself. And it's a lot of fun to sort of learn alongside the kids, and there's nothing at all wrong with that, and they're very brave. So it's just a matter of dragging different icons together to make different sounds and loops and things. So it's just a great opportunity to really introduce it in a really fun and non-stressful kind of way. So it's pretty neat. Then there's lots of examples, I'm sure, that we'll be able to put together in piece online too. So that's the way things are going. So my hope
quick question
is, yes, Bill.
Pardon me, the dollar figures that you've quoted in your presentation,
Yes.
Christine, are they
They're
US
Canadian.
or Canadian dollars?
They're Canadian dollars, and they include shipping and handling and taxes, and like they're truly the dollar figure.
Yeah,
So
oh, that's great.
yeah, and they're the same figures that I have quoted on that summary sheet that I think I've shared with you before, Phil. So I have that for all 3 of the First Lego League programs. And from recent talks with Lisa, it sounds like she wants to implement the same thing for First Tech Challenge. So soon we'll have all four of those. And I think it's going to be a little more challenging to capture FRC in that same sort of way as far as prices go. But I think my long-term goal is to definitely sort of do something that's going to capture that too, or at least the essence of it, so that we can have all of this in one document, so that when somebody emails or is asking a question, we can forward this to them and they have like literally pretty 99% of any question that's going to be asked of a new coach will be in one spot. So that's my goal. And so far it's working pretty well, but it is challenging to keep on top of keeping this up to date, because, you know, it's like they introduced a new Lego platform for me this year after I had done it all. And so I was like rejuggling all the numbers. They like to keep me on my toes, and every year, obviously, it changes, and links are even changing. I noticed today when I went to capture some links that things aren't in the same spot on the website that they used to be, for example. So, but anyway, the goal is to have this sort of be the one-stop shop, that summary sheet for all of the programs eventually. So, yeah. So, I really love the program, as you probably can tell, and I think I don't have to sell to you guys because you're already, you know, preaching to the choir. Here I am. But it's really adaptable. I think that's something that's really important to emphasize, and the fact that not only is this a STEM program, but it's building some great life skills, no matter what kids go into. You know, the public speaking part, you know, the interviewing process, like all those sorts of things, even the research, the art of sharing with one another, the art of compromising with some, you know, with group members, because you're going to have people that feel strongly about things and other people that maybe aren't giving as much to the team. So it's learning all those skills all wrapped up nicely in one. So I think it's a great starting point for students. And I think it's really important. And as I was telling Phil earlier today when we were talking, what I really like is I've been able to see students now that I've started in this program who've now finished FRC. So having seen them grow through that entire, in all those sort of connecting steps has been really remarkable, and how being involved in the program has sort of enriched their experience in the next level. It's not to say that you can't jump in at any point on any of the levels of first, because you certainly can, and it's, you know, probably almost as rewarding, but it does give students who are involved in the program from a really early age sort of ingrains it more, I think, in who they are, and I love the fact that those core values are really stressed throughout all the programs, so that there's that continuity and you can build on those things, because I think we really do see it happen. So